So now we're into top 8 after pools. And my first match in top 8 is against Coolbz. Don't know exactly how to say it. Coach of the 100 Enigmas. So Coolbz's team is just kind of a balance, good stuff type team. There's no central theme to it, just every beastie in it sort of does a bit of an all-around thing. There's some damage, there's some sideways pressure, a bit of stall. Just whatever he needs at the moment is out. Sort of similar to the games against, I think, Skarn. The first game is a bit of a comedy of errors. There's a free ball turn that I think would have won Coolbz the game if he didn't, like, I guess, time out. And I make several mistakes too. A big part of this game is managing traps. He utilizes the traps a lot, especially with this Enigmas opener, because, you know, obviously, that is, like, obviously the thing to go for against this team. I think that is why I open with trapped. Why my opening serve is corner shot instead of the usual burnout. Because I'm trying to get as much use out of cleanup as possible. There's also kind of an anti-synergy here with like Scary Face, normally really strong with sideways pressure, but because the Grisada's attack is Scream, it actually, well, I guess it does make the, if Scream does enough damage, then the sideways pressure is still there. But if it doesn't do enough damage, then it's actually negated because, yeah, Slice will not take care of Supalera here. Neither will Scream, in fact. Kind of a sort of binary, either forcing a 50-50 or eliminating a 50-50 that would have already been there. But yeah, my main tools in this match are cleanup for those traps, lots of healing. I mean, that's sort of always a tool for this team, but to eliminate the sideways pressure. Also, this might sound counterintuitive when you're up against traps, but frequent tagging. Traps do, I mean, again, the team already does that, but like traps do the most damage when they're stacked up, when there's 4 of them. When there's only 1 trap, it's 8 per tag-in. So if it's just the sort of passive Enigmas +1 traps per turn, if you just tag out every turn, it's 8 per turn, as opposed to if they're maintaining it at 4, it's 32 damage a turn. So I think a couple times in this match, I like tag out when normally I wouldn't have, just to lower that trap count by 1. When I can't get cleanup to work. This was, I'm assuming this was a 50-50. Yeah. Though notably, I think, no. Okay, yeah, me targeting Enigmas still beats block. Whoops, ran out of disk space while recording. It's fixed now, though. Was this the turn it was on? Yeah, okay, yes. Just making sure. Yeah, this Hopera is a big problem. I mean, any strong spirit attacker. Hopera, Grisada. Not Grisada. I mean, Grisada sometimes. Hopera, Circus, Thinflate, and Dragon. It's one of those. Duck out. Yeah, this game's kind of funny because Coolbz uses Cyclone a lot as a defensive tool because it's kind of like, besides blocking, it's the only thing that you can do to lower the damage of front row burnout. There's no like boosts involved. You can't patience it. I mean, I guess they don't have patience, but yeah. And Cyclone, honestly, ends up helping my team out a lot. Genuinely. Yeah, look at this. 50 stamina on Supalero, 20 stamina on Bongus. I think I got 20. No, just the, yeah. Just to, because he, I guess, was worried about front row burnout, because it is a one-shot on Riplash. I don't know why they wouldn't just go for the block instead. I guess, hang on. Let me analyze this. Okay, maybe he thinks that, like, provoke, quick tag, whoosh, volley attack is a possible turn. But then Cyclone also gets stopped by provoke. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. He also does this instead of swapping out his Hopra, because Hopra's currently at -2 from a chill out. Currently at -4. But yeah, just this burnout is just so threatening. At this point, it's a 50-50, honestly. Unless he blocks. Okay, he does block. Yeah, not a lot of, I guess, momentum gain from the 100 Enigmas here. Hopra's just kind of sitting out here at increasingly lower attack, and Riplash is just kind of using Thump every turn in Cyclone. I guess he doesn't have anyone to switch out to, because Garud doesn't have great Spirit Defense. I think Grazada was down for some of those turns. Yeah, I'm able to utilize Daredevil's great body defense here and just walk back to back row for the double acrobat defense bonus. Very powerful, just scaring your opponent with those whoosh burnouts, because it made Coolbz basically waste his turn blocking because it is that threatening. And so instead I could just switch in Trat and use Boom on Bongus, and then swap in Dillo with a welcoming heal later. And now even block doesn't save this, yeah. It has to be a Grazada switch. Or a block if he thinks I'm gonna go for Hopra. Which would be smart, because I did just tag out Trat, removing all of the damage debuffs. Yeah, that would have saved Hopra if that was my target. Yeah, this team just kind of doesn't have the answers that you need for this quick tag team. I don't think this team has a provoke. It does not have a provoke. The closest thing is like Nettle, which Garud hasn't even come out this match yet. This Crowing Garud does a lot of work in the first match because I'm like not prepared for it, and I will swap in things at less than 20 HP. So Garud can just essentially get a free tag in and a Nettle with Crowing, and then put something out of order for like 8 turns. Oh, there is a provoke on this team. Okay, Grazada has provoke. Okay. Yeah, really strong. This is not a 50-50. Okay. Yeah. It's just gonna hurt. Hopper super commit is no joke. Oh, that was a tornado ball. Yeah. Because you don't want to super commit at this low health, so you have to tornado ball, and this leaves my team with more HP than it had previously. Because Supalair takes it, but then immediately heals from the tag out, and then Bongus gets healed from the tag in. Yeah. Obviously, super commit is normally a huge problem. But when the Hopper is low, then suddenly Tornado Ball's so low. Yeah, this Garud actually, besides being weak to Daradillo, is kind of the biggest threat on this team. That and the sideways pressure from Slice. So seeing it not come out for so long. I mean, I guess that's just how the game maneuvers, honestly. Yeah, once again, feinting with the Daradillo. Not feint the play, but like an actual feint where I pretend that I'm going to attack. Here he goes for a provoke on Supalero instead of like nettling the trap to get it out of here and getting the crowing heal. And I'm really curious if that's like, that might be the better play. Because provoke and spitball here. Like, I'm not going to be able to quick tag at all this turn, or use any support plays, in fact. It's very good short term. I think the longer term play, though, would have been to wipe Trat so that I can't use cleanup anymore, and then you can start stacking traps. But it does leave you weak to just whoosh burnout, actually. God, my team's hard to play again. I don't want to just like come here and brag for this game, for this commentary, but like some of these games, it's like, yeah, they misplayed, but like I totally get it. I think, yeah, the nettle actually. That nettle there actually does take the screen into wipe territory. I wonder if he thought I didn't see this coming. I actually did not see this coming. I did not do the math on this. I think I just assumed he was either going to provoke or go for like nettle. Yeah, or maybe thought he was gonna like nettle. I don't know. I for sure thought he was going to go for the Fruit Flux, but actually, I think I remember winning this turn. No? Okay, never mind. And the Garud gets the crowing heal anyway. So here I'm forced to tag in Daradillo against the Scream serve. Thankfully, Grisada's Spirit Power is not that big, and Acrobat puts in a lot of work, even with only 30 base Spirit defense. Even have enough HP left over for a whoosh, and yeah, he loses the 50-50. The sideways pressure on this team was incredible. Just for forcing those front row to front row burnouts. Okay. So I beat Coolbz in the first round of the final bracket, and for semifinals of the final bracket, I go up against Cavalo again. And our first game is maybe one of my favorite games of the tournament. It has my favorite move of the tournament. It has my favorite like singular decision that someone made. And spoilers, it's not mine. It's Cavalo's. I am so excited to put this in the video and show this off. Wow. So I am lucky in that Cavalo serves first game, which means the Grit Heatwave can't go off. And I provoke the Tort Anchor turn 1. This really slows them down. There's no faith. So they go for a Stinky. Once again, I think this happened in pools too. After the exert serve, Cavalo does not just walk up to front row. Maybe because they know they want to get the boom off with Twirting for next time? I'm not sure why preventing thump on Supalair is that important, especially when they can just quick tag out. Anyway. Yeah. I go for damage. Cavalo's scared of the bounce, so they guess wrong. Happens all the time. And Cavalo says, alright, I'm tired of this Daradillo. I'm tired of this damage. Stop dealing damage to me. I correctly predict it. I think I get pretty good at predicting who Cavalo is going to Hex here. It doesn't stop Hex from being really strong because I utilize the bench a lot in this team. And I also go immediately for the free point because Cavalo's got to switch out for Hex. They also remove the drums. Except, they don't actually have to switch out. Mystic's still at full health, and it takes 0 damage from bounce anyway. And this gives them a turn. It's not a great turn, but they didn't take any damage. And now they're not threatened by the sideways in the future. Yeah, this is a good move. This is a move I think Cavalo could have done in earlier games. But didn't, either because they didn't see it coming or like did the math and was like, well, I don't want to just raw switch in a beast into the front row. Which honestly is probably a good play when Daradillo is available. But currently they're not. They're tired, and so I can't actually threaten the wipe onto whoever they switch in on the front row here. I just gotta slow play more. Thankfully, though, I know that they're going to boom, and I guess I guessed right who they're going to hit with the boom, so I can just dispel and clean up to both the Quake and the drum. Really satisfying to do. Bringing in the opposer back, because that's the one with the powered up grid. You can power up the grid itself with exert. Use exert again. I bring in Trap for cleanup. Because I think, does this have a Faith already? Yeah, it has a Faith bonus already. I want to get rid of that eventually. I also just want to provoke this to prevent more Faith bonuses and more provokes, which means I have to corner shot. And Cavalo reads me like a book. Cavalo knows my game plan and does gets the free grid activation. Oh, when this happened in the tournament, I regretted every decision I had ever made in my entire life. My heart sank. I slumped down in my chair. I put my head in my hands. Like, oh God. No, I can't have gotten red that hard. I gave them the free grid, man. No! This is incredible. This is the moment where I was like, I cannot have corner shot on Trat. I can't have corner shot on Trat. It needs to be like Echo Strike or Grinder or something. It has to be. I can't ever let this happen again. Because the teams that mine struggles the most against, at least in this tournament, are sweaty teams. It's like Heatwave Mudsley and Grid Dugout and Exert Opposer. Or just teams with champs. Like, the corner shot is not doing anything. Except giving my opponent a bonus. Still, though, Opposer is the one who's in the front row with the +1 attack bonus. switch out Rat here. I wonder why I did that. Is this? Okay, yeah. That's a wipe. So I have to let it keep the bonus at least for one more turn. And for whatever reason, Oh, okay, yeah. I'm, fainting front row burnout here. So I'm just sort of expecting Poser to switch out. So instead I go for the chill out on the dugout. And I guess another corner shot because it's the only attack. And I wonder if Cavalo also thought I was going to go for the front row burnout, and they wanted to force a free ball serve. Also, if I'd gotten the point there, then the chill out wouldn't have mattered. Interesting. Really, really interesting. Cavalo does a lot of really smart plays. I mean, besides just the dugout switch in, the way that they manage the provokes and the stinkies and the hexes to like kind of shut down my team. I think this like really comes to a head in the last games of the tournament. But already they're getting a sense for like how to stop me doing what I'm doing. Also the chant here to reset a Poser's sweat timer. Because, I mean, I was gonna say it's got +1, they want to keep it in, but I don't know. They also don't know that I've got exact wipe with Raw Fury here. I genuinely think Cavalo just doesn't see this. I don't think it's that they see it and guess I'm not going to do it. They just don't see it because they swap out the dugout. Yeah. And they go for a Tort Anchor to get like a Faith bonus for a +1 grit. Crazy that like with the play Cavalo's been doing, they're still at 0-2 points. It's just that bad to get wrong guesses against this team. And they've done it twice. I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I don't switch out for like... Oh, no, wait, yeah, I remember. I actually want the corner shot on Tort Anchor. Because the Faith is really dangerous, and this will eventually force it out. Or force them to use a chant, actually, which... I guess I just didn't think of that? I don't know. Maybe just damage over there. If I can force the dugout out, and their opposers on the bench. Well, I guess it's recovered now with powered up Grit. Grit is so scary. I like... I don't know if now is the time to talk about it, but I really have a problem with Grit. Seeing how strong it was in this tournament, both on Cavalo's team and on other teams. Yeah. Well, I just guess it's wrong again. That's really all it takes, even with the most brilliant play. If you just... all you gotta do is lose 3 50-50s, where you really have no idea what's coming next. I kind of feel bad that I won this game. I feel like Cavalo deserves to win this one, honestly. Oh, I picked the wrong music for this too. We'll have hyper music next time. Alright, this one's just a travesty. Oh, man. So, Heatwave C-Serve. Every time. And I just messed this one up. Like I said earlier, I used Bongus in my opener with the idea that I'll get the bounce following up the Hex. And I just... like, don't realize, of course they're gonna Hex the Bongus, and now I don't have any more sideways pressure at all. My 50-50, it's gone. good on this team. I could fit it anywhere. I don't think any of these beasties is cheap. And I just don't have the action economy for it, honestly. So, yeah, even my best attempts at dealing damage, it is pretty good. It's a lot of damage on Dugout. But it does get a fate-boosted grid on a piece of Titan front row. Thankfully, Track can take it. Here, just go for 4 damage. So this is the first major misplay. This is huge. The really obvious move here is Provoke. You provoke the Dugout and bump it. I don't know why I go for a burn instead. Genuinely makes no sense to me. I'm like actually mad at myself for thinking, like, I don't know, I don't want Super Arrow to take this sweat damage or something. My beastie that never wipes. I just let Cavalo get the free torch points. All the damage I did to that Dugout for nothing. And it gets another Hex. I have 2 beasties tired at once. Thankfully I can do the little cheat trick again, but... And at least I can get rid of the drums. But man, I am not in a good spot here. At least Cavalo isn't currently threatening any grit, but... Boost on this opposer. I have a beastie in the front row who I do not want to be in the front row. Like, maybe I should have moved Super Lair back here. But the easy receive does let me get the chill out of the This is another dress too. So the math here, opposer is actually, now that I think about it, it's not. It's actually really nice. But like the fact that opposer is in the front row but has -1 damage to go from this damage, that is going to get Faith, which will bring it up to neutral. So how much damage is this gonna do to everyone? I don't know. And I do the math wrong, and I think that Fruit Folks can take the grip, when in actuality it cannot, not in the front row. In retrospect, it's obvious. The -1 and the front row cancel each other out, and so Faith is going to be 50% bonus for 57 to 84. Maybe even if I did the math wrong, this is still a correct play. Maybe a Super Arrow on the bench at 72 is better than a Fruit Folks on the bench at 70 or whatever it was. Plus Fungus gets the heal. Actually, maybe this wasn't this way. I'm still just in a really bad spot. Trad is at 10 stamina, so it's a bit more difficult to tag in to get cleanup off. I have to quick tag it in on the offense turn. And tag it out on the defense turn, which means that this Fungus is just sitting here, unable to quick tag out, taking increasing spike damage every single turn. While I have to just keep doing this cleanup thing over and over if I don't want the boost to pile up. Although here I know that I'm threatening. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I know that Thump is threatening away here. So I take the opportunity to, instead of going for the Thump, I go for the the +1 non-obvious play. The one level above the most efficient thing to do. Or one level above the obvious thing to do. Which sometimes you should do, and sometimes if you get red, it leaves you in a worse spot. Thankfully, Cavalo doesn't use that. so I'm able to get a provoke off on the Tort Anchor. And this is still front row grit, but at least it's not gonna get boosted. For what that matters. I think... Yeah, it's still a 50-50, even without the boost. Oh wait, it's not! Yeah, Tree turns that into not a 50-50, thankfully. But yeah, I'm in like kind of a loop here of just having to tag out my bottom slot constantly and just let Bongus take the damage. I go for a Quake Lock here on the Tort Anchor, hoping Cavalo doesn't see it. They do see it, and obviously don't just want to keep it in, but just get wiped by a normal attack. Although, I think I hope they don't see it, because even from the, like, front row bounce does KO Tornado. That is the only attack available to me that KOs Tornado. So I hope, in my desperation, in my heart of hearts, that they don't realize they're going to get quick blocked here. But no, they just even though yeah, they actually just, this is smart. They're just abandoning their grid plan. Like, they have to switch out their Tort. Their dugout is at -2, so hey, let's just lay down some traps and throw down Numb Shot. Numb Shot is still a decent amount of damage. If you can put it on top of traps. Here I don't actually go for the whoosh because I know that just the set buff is enough to KO anything in the front row. So I can preserve some HP on Cavalo. It kind of looks like I'm getting momentum back, but not quite. So here, this is an interesting one. So, Dugout takes 44 damage here, and he's left with 8 stamina. And this is an effect of Platypus. Platypus being on the team. You'll notice this Dugout doesn't have balanced defenses. It's neglected my defense. I think entirely. Everyone's team codes is posted on Discord, and you can see like all their exact investments. I think this Dugout has 0 defense investment, and instead has full spirit defense. If they weren't relying on Platypus to cover all their main weaknesses here, this Dugout would probably have balanced the spirit and line defenses, and probably would have wiped here. I think. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this would have been a wipe on this Dugout, and then that's game, because nothing else can take the permanent serve. So just one of the effects of Platypus that is really strong beyond just countering line teams is it just also makes your team better against anything else. Late Trap is a good move. I mean, Late Trap is what wins them the game here. Because they do the math right. Supalair can take a back row grit serve, but not with trap damage. And that's just a checkmate. How about I bench get more down to do that in the next game too. I am looking forward to commenting on this game and seeing what exactly went wrong. I remember at the end I was thinking, man, I really messed this up somewhere, but I haven't reviewed that game since the tournament. Oh boy. Okay. So, last match against Cavalo. Semi-finals of the tournament. This is as far as I've ever made it in a Beastieball tournament. Not that I've, like, been in all of them before, but, like... It's a 1-to-1 game. And... well, we'll talk about it. So, Cavalo switches up their serve. It's not Exert with the Tort Anchor by the side. They start with... I mean, I guess doing the thing that I suggested earlier in pools. I mentioned, like, why would you not just start this to get the Heat Wave off as soon as possible? And I guess I immediately proved why that's true. because for the first time that it's possible, normally this is impossible, I get a juicy, juicy provoke off on the Mystic. And this stops Heat Wave, this stops Hex. Yeah, Cavalo, like, tries to call a bluff. Like, maybe they're not just gonna provoke here. Maybe they're gonna, like, front row burnout, but no, I do the 0th level most obvious thing. Because, yeah, preventing Heat Wave is just that strong. And I'm in such a good spot here now. Now they have to, I guess they don't have to switch out their Mystic, but they can't get off Heat Wave this turn either, because how Provoke works. The block is the easiest thing in the world, because their Mystic can't attack, so I get off a Chill Out, and then a Bounce. So they can't switch out their Dugout. Their Dugout has to stay in at -2. This is such a strong opening. And it really looks at this point like I'm going to win. I mean, sort of. Like, Cavalo hasn't gotten any of their momentum. I even correctly predicted this Hex. I know they're going to go for the Bongus. And at -2, with Grit Unpowered, I can switch in my Daredevil on a Spirit. I can provoke the Torch Pass, and this, I think, is where things go wrong. This is a misplay. Like, kind of full stop, this is a misplay. The theme of this game, for me, is that, like, I'm seeing red, and I'm riding high from that opening, and I think, yes, I just gotta do what my team does. I've gotta do damage, and then I'll win. And to be fair, if 150-50 had gone differently in this game, I think I would have won. But Cavalo is a better player. They let the Dugout wipe, which I shouldn't even been trying to do this. Now their Dugout's going to come back in 4 turns with powered up Grit. They can't Heat Wave. This Dugout is... it's a liability. I should be ignoring it. It's just sitting on the field at 36. Like, yeah, sure, prevent the Torch Pass. But, like, don't wipe it. Leave it on the field. I feel like if I'd left this Dugout on the field, things would have gone very differently. But I say, hey, I can get a point, and I can eliminate my most hated enemy, Grit Dugout. And even still, it kind of continues going well for me. Because they didn't start with the Exert Serve, they have to spend a turn activating it here. Yeah, Poser gets a buff, but, you know, it's about to be out next turn. I know they're going to move up, because A, they can with Exert, and... oh wait, I'm not even threatening the sideways here. Yeah, I guess they just do it, instead of Stinky. I think they've seen how Stinky is, like, largely ineffective against this team. And I go for the corner shot on Tort, just to pressure its HP down. Just, like, you know, use the advanced position that they have to do a slower play. So this game, especially, this might be because eventually they get back momentum. This game, Cavalo does the very smart thing of provoking one Beastie and then attacking the next. Especially when they can predict who I'm going to switch out. Because now I can't quick tag Super Laro. I can quick tag through folks, but that isn't gonna threaten anything. It's just gonna, like, I can get trapped back in and get Bongus in for the late heal. And Super Laro also can't provoke the Tornado to prevent hits. Yeah, and here I violence. I know that this just getting blocked will be really bad for me. Like, I'll be in such a bad position if this just gets blocked. But, you know, what if I get that white? You know? What if I get it? What if I get it? I should have just, like, switched in trad and kept doing cleanup. Waiting for the opposer to wear down so that I can go in for a finish later. One that can't get blocked. I mean, I do end up getting the point here, but I don't know. This is a lot of damage on Super Rare, a lot of damage on Coolbz. This will come back. But right now I'm riding on it. I just got a point. Cavalo does the smart thing of knowing that they're going to lose. Because technically Dugout can take the hit here and prevent this point loss, but then they're just really defensive. That would just be the correct. Almost certain. So they move down just to guarantee that at least they're going to. And either way, they lose their point. And now I'm 1 point away from advancing in the tournament. But Dugout comes back. Dugout comes back with the sweat. It clears the sweat off of Tort. I have to switch out Daradillo because the grid's threatening. Maybe I should have sacked Daradillo. Some of the earlier games in this tournament, I sacked Daradillo and I've become less and less willing to do that. I guess as I become more desperate. But I still want to use it for damage. I still take 40 damage on Dillo because, well, you know, what if I get the point? What if I, you know, if I damage Dugout, then it's going to be so low that I just, that they don't have any attackers and They move out, thinking I might go for a sideways. And even though, like, they want, usually they have moved their attacker up to the front, but I think they really want to double provoke here. There's the bounce within bounce the Dugout, they get the one. Yeah, that 40 HP on there. Just to end up in this position. Where the Dugout's +1, it's grid activated, it's getting healed by drums. You can get rid of the drums here, but Longest is at 1 hit point. Daredevil is at 17. And again, I'm so mad at myself. I provoke the Torch Pass early. I don't here. To be fair, in order to do it here, I would need to free ball. I couldn't dispel quick time provoking. But like if I provoke this Torch Pass, I guess Platypus can still just come in for the finish. I don't know. Seeing this Torch Pass off, this makes my heart sink. I went from such a good position to such a bad one because I just tunnel vision on damage. And Cavalo played very, very faint in response. They thought long term, they're very good bench managers. They can bring out their Mystic Hex whenever. They've been torch passing and safe. This is a, well, this looks like a Quake Lock. It's actually not. It's another treat coming in to save the day to prevent this from being a Quake Lock, but it's still... Everything's just getting worn down. The provokes are preventing my quick tap, which is preventing me from getting more forage or more treat. I just can't get any more heals out of this. They're not not even going for the rim, they're going for and I mean, I feel like it's kind of obvious what's going to happen. I have to use so much quick play constantly. It's like this team suddenly started playing like an indirect damage team, like my red play. Just the whole bench is and yeah, this is like an indirect quick one. Super Lair isn't provoked, and I would love to tag it out for Forager, but then what would I do? I mean, honestly, maybe just tagging it out for Bongus would be the right play. Getting Bongus wiped, but like being able to get welcoming later. I don't know. There's so much better stuff that I could do. Looking back, and I don't remember exactly what the right side was at the moment. Like I'm just trying to do damage at all costs. And like, well, if I just keep doing damage, I just keep hammering away at it, I'm getting outmaneuvered so hard. I'm getting provoked. I'm getting these traps. Super Lair can't tag out for Forager. Provokes are so much. And I'm just not prepared for this playstyle. I've been so hyper-focused on powered up grit, powered up grit, powered up grit. Here I tag out Super Lair, so I at least have something decent on the bench. Like a good amount of health. Welcoming helps Trap take this. But yeah, I'm just having to perform over and over again. And there's not really anything I can do to save this, especially with Provoke out. I can't do a lot of things. Although Cavalo knows he's going to get me Provoke. This is enough damage. Now it's 2-2 on final game of the set. And I lose the 50-50. Not that winning it really would have saved me there. Yeah. Just sort of an object lesson in long-term thinking in 3-point games. You can't play 3-point like you would Big Moon Bash. You just can't. You gotta be thinking ahead. You have to do proper bench management. And Cavalo does a great job of maneuvering around the 50-50s. I don't even know if they left themselves open, actually, for a 50-50 that would have lost them the game. I think maybe not. Or if it did, like, the choice I was going to do is so obvious. But that knocks me out of the tournament, and Cavalo moves on to finals. Good games, Cavalo. Good games to everyone. To Skarm and Puppin and Coolbz. Who's the other one? Soulless Reverie. This tournament was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed being in it. Really enjoyed getting to go over these games and talk about my team and the strategy and just Beastieball in general. I love analyzing this stuff. I love looking back and being like, oh, this play, this strategy, and we could have done this, we could have done that, and this team construction, that team construction. This game's so cool. Purchase and play Beastieball if you haven't done that yet. If you're somehow watching this video and you have not already or were not already going to purchase and play Beastieball, please do that. Hopefully I do better next Heatwave, but even if not, I'll still have a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, everyone.